All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? Guess who's back? Back again. We're back from the All-Star break. Better than ever. 14 games to get you going today. The week has been slow, but I can promise you one thing and one thing for sure. Your life is way better because you did not get in the bottom of a Porter John this weekend. I don't know if you saw that video, Matt. That was some gross stuff. Your week was better than that. No matter how bad your week was, you weren't in the bottom of a Porta John. But, man, how was your week? Slow week with no real MLB DFS. What's going on, my man?
I don't know who had a worse week, that guy or ESPN owns Matt Miller. Each one of those guys getting dragged in different type of ways. But, yeah, what a weird story with the porta potty. Never seen something like that. Hopefully never see it again. Week was good, boring. Happy MLB is back tonight. Even the All-Star game itself was pretty boring. So watched a little bit of soccer even to pass the time, which is a rare
football. A little football, if you will. Any Argentina fans out there living and dying, they just keep on doing it. Get them to the 85th minute, and that's when they're rocking and rolling. That other story you alluded to it's kind of wild as well. That's been going on. No porn stash. It is gone. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. We got a free ticket to give away tonight, too. I forgot about that. I'm obligated by my own admission. Jog Jams went deep fly last night. The chat let me know. So we're going to be giving a 121 ticket away tonight to some member at Ship It Nation. You're going to want to stick around. It's a good one. Matt let me know before the show what it was going to be, or we talked about what it was going to be, and the answer is great. My guy, P. Joe Digi and Stoner, coming all the way from Colorado, is in the house. Michael. Hold on, Michael. I'm coming to you. Michael is in the house. Warren Tyler, New York ST Eagle. Ricky Rose, what's going on? Asian Al, we're here, baby. We ain't going nowhere. Bob's in the house. Anthony's in the house. Another Ricky's in the house. And the man of the hour is in the house. Jordan Newens, congrats to our guy, Jordan Newens. Gonna be a father coming up, first-time father. So shout out to my boy Newens. Matt and I are both fathers. They change your life for the better. So congratulations to you, Newens, in here each and every Friday night. But Matt, we're gonna get right into it. We got 14 games to break all down, including the second game of a 10-0 game from earlier today. Boston beat up on the Rays. Junior Caminero had a scary, HBP in the All-Star game. You never want to see that ever, but especially not in an All-Star game. We're going to go game by game, though, Matt. First game up on the slate is going to be the Doyers taking on the Yankees. What a game it's going to be. Roki Sasaki going in to the famed Yankee Stadium to take on Garrett Cole. Should be a good one. Good real-life game. Two top-name teams. You got the Dodgers, Shohei. Shohei's a person. Shohei's a man. Taking on the Yankees. Talk me through this one.
Yeah, this is a really interesting game just because you've obviously got the two biggest markets in sports. You got a World Series rematch from a couple years ago. From a DFS perspective, though, like the Dodgers are always going to be in play. Every slate they're on, they can wreck any slate about as good as any other team can. That said, like, they're expensive, and you're stacking against Garrett Cole on a slate with Coors, with bad pitching, with other really good ballparks, really good weather all over the place. So, yeah, you want to stack the Dodgers, I get it, but it's really, really tough for me to want to allocate those funds in any one single lineup. Like, they would be a multi-entry type team for me, and quite frankly, so would the Yankees. I respect Sasaki, but he's been very inconsistent, especially recently. So while I'm a believer in his stuff generally, we know that when he doesn't have his good stuff, opponents can have really good days against him. So I wouldn't put it past the Yankees to have a big day. I just can't say that I like them over a bunch of other teams on this slate. I mean, this slate is loaded. Coors with bad pitching, wind blowing out in Wrigley with bad pitching, really, really good hitting weather in Kansas City, which is a good hitter's park. You've got Sacramento on this slate. I mean, I cannot sit here and say that I like anything from this game as far as I would play it in one lineup. Do you see it differently?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was on Garrett Cole against the Twins a couple weeks ago. I know we kind of differed there. Now he gets the Dodgers, but you said it. I mean, 6,700 for Shohei. I mean, their prices are kind of out of there. Without Aaron Judge, I don't fully trust this Yankees team. I'll play a couple teams over on FanDuel. The prices are a little bit better over on FanDuel outside of Ben Rice, who's 4,200. But just in general, I'm not full stacking 5-man or 4-man this Yankees team with no Aaron Judge against a guy, like you said, Sasaki, where we know we're going to have better options. So, yeah, I'm with you. If you wanted to one-off it, if you wanted to play 20 teams, 50 teams, something like that, I think you'd get to one or both of these guys. But, yeah, it's prices are too expensive for the Dodgers that I'm not full stacking the Yankees either.
Cool.
What about the weather? So Anthony brings up the weather. Yeah. What about the weather in Yankee Stadium, Cleveland, anywhere like that, Chicago? Any of the smoke impacting any of the stuff that you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to assume these games play unless we hear otherwise. But yeah, as I mentioned to you before, I was surprised that the game hasn't been canceled in Cleveland. And it still might be. So I would imagine if they start these games, they're going to play them. Like, I don't know. I'm not an expert with anything weather related, certainly not these wildfire smoke or whatever the smoke is caused from. So, yeah, I think there's definite concern here and in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think it's New York, according to Roth, New York, Cleveland, and Toronto. Even though Toronto's indoors, I guess theoretically, I guess maybe it's just so bad up there in general. But if you think about it, to me, that's kind of weird. Like Cleveland, I think Cleveland's pretty far from like the Canadian border, and that stuff just flushes down. I was in Chicago yesterday, and it was pretty bad there as well. So, man, that stuff's traveling pretty fast. It must be the real deal if you're especially up there near it. So,
yeah, Cleveland's not that far from Canada.
Is it not? Okay. All right, let's move on to the next game. Got the Pirates, got Jared Jones taking on Gavin Williams. Assuming this game is going to play, Gavin Williams has been prone to the long ball a little bit this year, but does strike out a lot of folks per 9 innings as well. Any love for any of these Pirates? Esmeralyn Valdez just can lay the lumber to that ball, but he also is going to strike out a ton. Or any of these Guardians. We love playing these Guardians, especially these cheap Guardians when your cleanup hitter is only $2,800. I have some interest in this Guardians. Interested to see if you do as well.
Yeah, this game's all about Cleveland for me. Pittsburgh, I guess, would be sneaky in tournaments because they have power, and I like their lineup against right-handed pitching. But I don't know if this is the slate I want to pick on Gavin Williams. The more owned Gavin Williams is, the more of a place Pittsburgh has on this slate. But for me, on paper, this game is about Cleveland. Gavin Williams, one of the better pitching options, not my favorite. I like Sale and Bryce Miller more than Williams, but he's right in that mix for me. And then the bats against Jared Jones, who has talent, but clearly hasn't put it all together yet. Cleveland coming off a good series in Miami. They've won 4 in a row. They swept the Marlins, beat up some good pitching. I don't put it past the guards to get here tonight. Jones isn't good. They run. They don't hit for power. But again, they're coming off a good series in Miami. Now they're back home. I could see playing some Cleveland here.
Yeah, Cleveland. Hey, what's going on, Taco Todd? You're in the house. I saw my boy a minute ago. Where is my boy? Title Town. Always enjoy having Title in here as well. Andy joined us late as well. And then Pojin gave us $2 for the snack fund. Appreciate that as well. Yeah, this Guardians team, they're getting hot at the right time. Then they got the break. Obviously, that we know Jose Ramirez is on the shelf. They're similar. Where would you rank this Guardians team? Like, are they a top 5 stack for you, top 10? You got 28 bats to choose from. Where would they?
Definitely not top 5 for me. No way.
Definitely not top 5. Top 10?
No, I mean, So the appeal to them is how cheap they are. And there is expensive pitching I like. So I think you can make the argument they're top 10. I don't think you can make the argument they're top 5.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they couldn't get there, but like there are some really good stacks today. So
yeah,
I could understand why someone would have them like outside of the top 10 for sure, but I could also understand why someone would have them right there. They're really cheap and in a good matchup. So yeah, top 10 for me.
All right, top 10. And DJ and Stoner, there's not going to be much geography because your boy Ham's not very good at geography, so you're safe. No geography, no math, just winners here today with my boy Matt. Breaking it all down for you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. 2 down, 12 to go. Red Sox and Rays, game 2.0. This game is not on FanDuel. FanDuel's got 13 games, but we do get the great Mason Englert taking on Eduardo Rivera. Talk to me through this when it was 10-0 earlier today, which means absolutely nothing in this contest. But who do you got? Rays, Red Sox.
So the Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball right now. They've won a ton of games in a row, right back in the playoff picture. They've been a lot better offensively in this recent time stretch. And they're coming off a game in which they scored 10 runs today. I like the ballpark, good hitting weather here. I think the Red Sox are in play, and I think the Rays are in play here. Bennett has been good, so I don't want to go overboard with the Rays, and I also generally like them better against right-handed pitching. The Red Sox, I think, are in play. I want to see what their lineup shakes out as. Tampa used bullpen today because Griffin Jacks wasn't very good. I don't love the Red Sox here, but I think they're definitely in play. They've got upside. They're playing good baseball right now. We know this ballpark is conducive for runs in the summer. So I think the Red Sox are another top 10 stack personally.
Did you say Bennett, or did I mishear you?
Did Bennett start today?
I think he started this morning.
Yeah, he started this morning. So yeah. In which case the Rays are more in play. Who'd you say was going for them? Sorry.
Eduardo Rivera.
Yeah. Guy that's probably not going to go too deep into this game. So you're going to get into this bullpen. Okay.
Yeah,
Bayo's coming in.
Relief. Yeah.
So I've talked about this with Bayo early on. He had been really, really good coming in after a opener. And for some reason, they decided to go back to him starting, and he got absolutely shelled his last appearance in the majors. But now again, coming in after an opener, I'm less inclined to want to go hard against him. I don't want to use him here. The Rays on paper, I think, look pretty good. I think I'll probably be lower on them than the field is, although they're expensive, and this is the type of slate where outside a couple teams, I just can't see anyone getting real ownership.
Caminero played this morning, I believe, correct?
Yes, he did.
Not that he did anything, but
he did.
He was in there, went 1 for 4. Yeah, 1 for 4. Yeah, Bayo pitched the other night against the Mets, I believe, in long relief, and I think he did pretty good, if I'm not mistaken, because I know I had some Mets teams. So, yeah, excellent breakdown there. Pojin said Bennett was the first one. Pojin, I was in Fort Collins a couple weeks ago, man. I missed you. You must have been busy doing all that funny stuff. Denver, Fort Collins, didn't see my boy Podin, G-Den Stoner 303. So maybe next time. Moving on to the next game. Got those Shy Sox. Man, the Shy Sox, they had me so close last Friday night, Matt. I was super excited. Texting you, texting everyone. White Sox, Blue Jays. Pay attention to that. They're fun to watch. Munetaki Murakami did me dirty. Colson Montgomery did both of us super dirty over the weekend. They're a fun ball club. Braden Montgomery went yard on Sunday. This is a fun team to watch, taking on Spencer Miles and Anthony Kay. Never the Blue Jays, but Ernie Clement made a good play in the All-Star game up the middle. Talk to me about this one. White Sox in Toronto.
I don't love this game for anything, basically. Miles has been pretty good. Not someone I'm actively looking to avoid picking on, and I don't want to use him, but I don't know. Indoor ballpark on a slate with a ton of good weather. 2 pitchers that have been okay. I'm probably off of this game. With 14 games, I think it's okay to have a couple week cross off.
Couple week cross off. This is going to be one of them, the White Sox. going to get crossed off tonight. Next up on the slate, looks like Spencer Strider's going to be back sooner rather than later. You got the ageless wonder Cal Quantrill, who we picked on last time he was on a slate. Got the Rangers. Jock Jams giving away. There's no way Jock Jams is leading off tonight, not against Chris Sale. I'm not buying that. So we need to update that. But because of Jock, we are giving away a free 121 ticket tonight. Make sure you stay tuned at the end of the show, and one lucky Ship It Nation member will get a prize at the end. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're not playing any Rangers. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you have interest in Chris Sale and this Braves team who's going to get Ronald Acuna Jr. back. Talk me through this one. Rangers in the ATL.
Yeah, you know me all too well. I like Sale. He's a dog. This Rangers lineup still, in my opinion, isn't good against lefties, even though they were pretty good heading into the break. I'm a believer in Sale over most other pitchers in baseball. So, yeah, I like Sale here. And I do like the Braves, man. I know we picked on Quantrill with, who was it? The Astros. They weren't very good.
Was it the
They had a couple
Astros?
homers.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because Jordan hit a homer. Yeah, it was the Astros. They weren't very good, but yeah, Quantrill's not good. And the Braves offense is very good. I don't think they get love here. They're kind of just going to fall through the cracks like a bunch of teams are. And even on a slate with Coors and good weather all over, I'm still willing to pick on Quantrill. So I like the Braves here. There's good hitting weather in Atlanta. I like this lineup. I'm in on the Braves. Top 5 stack for me.
Wow, you think the Braves, I understand there's Coors, there's Sacktown, there's where else is there? There's other places, but you think the Braves go under the radar, if you will. Not under the radar, but we got them sub 10% across the board and not even that high. You think it's sub 10%?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got not just the one game that I've left out a couple of times that you did also is wind blowing out in Wrigley. So not just Coors, not just wind blowing out in Wrigley, but great weather in Kansas City. We got Merrill Kelly on the hill for Arizona. So St. Louis is going to look – there's good stacks all over the board tonight. I don't think Atlanta gets any real ownership, no.
Yeah, you got Chris Sale, who's only 10K, which to me that's super low in my opinion. Then you got Cal Quantrill at 5.5. He's the cheapest pitcher on the slate as well. So we got most expensive pitcher going against the least expensive pitcher. I like this Braves team too. It's a top 5 stack for my boy Matt. Next game up on the slate is the Marlins at the Brewers. Sandy Alcantara, who's been balling this year, or up and down, but balling as of late, taking on this Brewers team they just find a way to get it done, Matt. Seems like every night they're winning ball games 3-1, 4-2, never hit home runs. Cooper Pratt, Joey Ortiz taking on this Marlins team. Liam Hicks at the top of the lineup. Talk to me through this one. Marlins at the Brewers.
Yeah, I don't love this game either. I don't want to play Sandy in this spot against Milwaukee. That's for sure. You could stack Milwaukee against Sandy. Like he doesn't, he gives up a lot of contact in Milwaukee. We know gets on base and runs. I don't really want to pick on Sandy on this slate though. And then Miami's interesting to me. Logan Henderson is an arm I'm a believer in general, but he's also not a guy right now I'm necessarily afraid to pick on. Big ballpark upgrade for Miami here. They've been very good against right-handed pitching. I don't think they're a top 5 or even top 10 stack for me, but I think they're in playing tournaments. Given everything I mentioned, the ballpark upgrade, the speed, pretty sure they lead the majors in stolen bases, and they've got some pop. So, yeah, I think the Miami offense is my favorite piece of this game, but I don't love it.
Not a 3-pronger for you?
1-pronger at best.
When are we going to get to a 3-pronger?
I don't know, man. On slates like this, where you have there's 14 games. So if I like an offense enough, probably won't like the pitching. And if there's pitchers that I'm even considering, it probably are guys that I don't even consider offenses against. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
For instance, I think the best 3-pronger that we've talked about so far would be like the Yankees game, Like, you could use Sasaki, you could use the Yankees against him, but at the end of the day, I don't like either enough because there's so many other good stacks and pitchers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this is a great slate. You got 14 games, 28 teams to choose from. Kind of like what we talk about in the NFL too, right? It's like the quarterback position is never going to be that owned. I don't think a lot of these stacks outside of maybe Coors, Sacramento, and the Chicago game are going to get that much love and ownership. So certainly agree with you there.
I can't remember. Did you said you were in Fort Collins? I know we talked about this even last. You said you were in Fort Collins, or
I was in Fort Collins. 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I know you used to live there.
Well, I used to live in Denver, but I got a bunch of buddies that went to Colorado State. So
yeah, CSU. Went to the football stadium and walked the campus, went in the arena. Yeah, it was a good time. Never been there.
Good times.
Old Sonny Lubick. So I think it's Sonny Lubick was his name. You know Sonny Lubick?
No, I don't. I didn't go to Colorado State, so I don't know the background, but it's fun.
Well, I didn't either.
I've been there. Yeah, no, but I wasn't there 3 weeks ago either. But yeah, fun times whenever I've been there. From what I remember, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right, Marlins at the Brewers. I'm gonna say this one's a cross off for me. The Marlins. People always want to play the Marlins. I think they stink, but not playing either one of those. Like that Brewers bullpen as well. So I'm out on that one. All right, next game up on the slate. Interested to see what you had to say about this. Colin Ray going to be all the way back in Little Rock tonight, taking on the home run giver-upper Bailey Ober. I feel like this Twins lineup, a lot of lefties in there to take on Colin Ray. This Giants team, PCA, been balling this year. Alex Bregman off the roids. He stinks. Michael Bush, Sasaki, Happ. They can all go yard. Dansby, Lieutenant Dans. All right, talk me through this game, Matt. Wind blowing out. You see that in the implied run total. Over 10.5. Twinkies at the Cubbies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much else to say about it. Two bad pitchers, really, really good hitting weather. And I don't think either team gets too much ownership just because there's so many teams that look good on this slate. So I'm sure the Cubs are one of the higher owned teams on the slate. They have to be in this spot. You can afford them well enough. Ober's a guy that I and the field likes to pick on. I think personally, I like Minnesota better in this spot.
Can you pay $6,300 for PCA?
Sure. I mean, especially he's been amazing. He's been one of, if not the best fantasy commodity over the past month. So yeah, why wouldn't you be able to, I guess would be my response, especially if you're stacking them, but even as a one-off.
They're cheap elsewhere.
Yeah, they're cheap elsewhere. PCA looks like one of the best bats on the slate. I mean, he runs, he's got power. Lot to like here. I do like the Twins, I think, as a stack a little bit more because they're going to be lower owned, in my opinion. And Ray is not a good pitcher either. So all things being equal, I'd probably rather pick on Ober, but I think you do get a pretty big ownership discount from Minnesota. So I'm digging it. I like the Twins here. I think I like them more than I thought going in, looking at their projected ownership.
Your boy PCA, man, he could potentially go 40-40. He could join that 40-40 club potentially.
Definitely.
Yeah, Nicholas thinks Ober is some trash. He's going to be in on some Cubs tonight. So you like the Twins better than the Cubs. Is that just as a stack, or is that just like stack versus stack? You like the Twins better?
I think it's really close for me, like just straight up. And then when you consider the ownership, that's what pushes it to the front for me as far as the Twins go.
Yeah, if you're stacking the Twins, you can't play Allen Roden. He stinks. You can't play 7, 8, 9, in my opinion. Alex Bregman, in or out?
If I'm stacking them?
Yeah, full stack. 5-man stack. Is he going to be a part of your squad?
Definitely in play there. I mean, it has to be. Homered, big game, last game before the break, cheap. It's hitting, second or third? So, yeah.
Probably, even though he stinks, you still want to play him. Got it. Moving on to the next game. Baltimore getting them out of the friendly confines, going in to the Astros to take on Peter Lambert. Dean Kramer on the mound for the Orioles. Talk to me about this game. We talked a little bit about Peter Lambert, his last start out. I think he did okay. I think he was in that same game with the Rangers when Jock went deep off of him. But talk to me about this one. Orioles at the Astros. You got any love for any of these O's? Both are going to be unowned. Jordan just been simply amazing this year. Talk to me about this game. Orioles at the Astros.
Yeah, this one, I think Lambert and the Orioles might be the only pitcher hitter, pitcher versus hitter that I'm thinking about both sides is in play for me. Going back to the three-pronger you asked me about. Lambert has been good this year. Been good for me when I've used him. Coming off a really good start. That said, I think a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and he's got bad reverse splits. So I think this Orioles lineup sets up well against him, and I think that they're in play here. I do feel kind of similarly about the Astros and Kramer, although at the end of the day, like I kind of said about Sasaki and the Yankees, if I'm playing one lineup, I'm probably just not getting to anything from this game, recognizing that there's upside probably in each different side of it. But I just can't prioritize anything here. There's too many other better spots.
So talk to the people. When you say reverse splits, normally righty-righty is where Lambert would shine. So you're saying the lefties the righties have a better advantage against Lambert than the lefties do?
Yeah, at least so far this season. You look at just his numbers coming into this game tonight. Basically the same. This is crazy. Basically the same amount of at-bats against righties and lefties. 161 to lefties, 153 to righties. Giving up 3 bombs to lefties, 8 bombs to righties. Lefties are hitting 143, righties are hitting 261 against him. Lefties are slugging 224, righties are slugging 458. Lefties have a 507 OPS, righties have a 751. So we're talking pretty big reverse splits here. So I like the righties for Baltimore.
Like the righties for Baltimore. There you go. You got it there. What about the Astros? You like them at all, or outside of Jordan, obviously as a one-off potentially. Any minis there or anything like that?
I respect Kramer enough, and again, this ballpark when there's other really good weather spots, just not the place I'm trying to target. So Astros are good and they have power, but I'm not going out of my way for them.
Not going out of your way. All right, awesome stuff there. Padres at the Royals. You talked about this weather. It's hot as a firecracker there. You can see that an applied run total of above 10. These Padres, not very well. They're good. I feel like they're good, but I just feel like they let us down time and time again. So talk to me about this game. You got Tatis, Mary Machado up top that I think are good, and then you got this Royals team who facing Michael King, who I like. I like them. Your boy Lane Thomas batting cleanup again. This game should get some ownership. Should see some fireworks as well. But talk to me, Padres at the Royals. Padres are cheap too, I might add.
Big weather, really good hitting weather in this game. And I think so on paper, I like the Padres a lot here. I like them more than the Royals. They're top 5 stack for me. I do think because of how cheap they are, they're going to be pretty highly owned considering how other teams are owned on this slate. Like they're not going to be crazy highly owned because there's so many good spots, but I think they might be a little bit over-owned. The Royals won't get any love, and I like them here. So really? I like this game for offense. Nah, I don't see the Royals getting love. I mean, Bobby Witt is how much? Bobby Witt is 6K against a righty in Kansas City, and Ellie is 500 more than him in Colorado. I just don't see Witt getting love here. I mean, he's a pivot off of Ellie, but the guys you want to Witt's expensive, Jensen's expensive, Kansas City is expensive for the guys you want to play, and they don't really deserve those tags. So, in a sense, that
got some weather here, man. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard that. I was like, "Are you all right?" Yeah, I didn't know what that was, but you good?
Yeah, we good, man. It's just a lot of weather.
Yeah, no, I get it. That really threw me off. I don't think the Royals get love here. King is a respected arm, and the Royals are expensive where you want to play them, and the guys that aren't expensive, people don't want to play. So Kansas City's really interesting for me in tournaments. Yeah,
I like Kansas City a little bit against Michael King. especially those lefties, the home run derby legend, Jack Kaggs. Don't mind him in there as well with some of those other lefties. Moving on to the next game, it's going to be one that everybody's talking about. Everybody's playing 12 implied run total. Some guy named Brady Singer on the hill for the Reds. Some other guy named Gabriel Hughes on the bump for the Rockies. Ellie's going to be popular. Sal Powell, Sal Stewart, Spencer Steele, the whole gang. Same thing with those Rockies. Those Rockies look really nice as well. Jake McCarthy inside the park home run last week. Mickey Moniak, Hunter Goodman. The list goes on and on. Talk to me about this game. How do you play this game? Where do you get different? Reds at the Rockies.
Yeah, I feel similarly about this game as I do the Chicago-Minnesota game. There isn't much to add. It's typical Coors game with bad pitching. Singer has been bad this year. Colorado, we much prefer against righties. They obviously look like one of the best stacks on the board, no doubt about it. And then Cincinnati, probably the top stack on the board. Gabriel Hughes, unknown, doubtful to be anything of substance pitching in Colorado. He's coming off a good start against the Dodgers, which is good for him, but don't really see it continuing here. I mean, since he likes to strike out a lot on a lot of slates, I guess like because of the owner, we don't talk about the leverage at pitcher all the time or often at all, but I guess considering how cheap Hughes is and how many good offenses there are on this slate, I don't think he's the worst play in the world. At first I was going to say he's out of play, but I don't think he's an atrocious play considering his tag, the matchup, the ownership the Reds are going to get, and how many expensive offenses there are. That said, Cincinnati has got to be the top stack on the board on paper. I mean, they're in Coors. They're facing an unknown, probably not good starter and a bad bullpen.
So you got the Reds over the Rockies. That's correct?
I think it's really close, but yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, when are we going to get there? How would you rank just like the Rockies versus the Cubs versus the Royals in terms of like game stacks, if you will? Just like, you know what I mean? Not necessarily the teams, just the environment.
I think they're all good. I don't really have like a ranking for them. It's impossible to say.
Okay.
They're all really good. I mean, it's really hard to say. It's hard to say. They're all three of them. Because you can make the case, like, I think in a vacuum, the Reds Rockies has the best environment for the most runs. But I also think that game has the highest ownership. And I also think that those two teams, the Reds and the Rockies, aren't great offenses. So when you consider ownership and all that, I think you can make a really strong case for all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, all great matchups. I mean, you just can't play everybody, right? I mean, ownership's going to be spread out tonight, I think, maybe more than normal. I mean, you got those three contests, and then you got this Oakland game.
That's why I said the Braves. The Braves got to be low owned, right?
Yeah. The Braves offense has been sputtering too. Now that I say that, right? They just went to St. Louis their last series, and they didn't score many runs. I don't know how many it was, but it wasn't a lot. Moving on to the next game, we got Troy Melton, $8,700 Troy Melton going to the Angels. Another park that we like to work with. Reed Detmers at $7,300. I love that price tag for Reed Detmers playing against this team. Riley Green's a lefty, so we get the lefty-lefty advantage there, who, in my opinion, is one of their better hitters, does strike out a lot. But talk to me about this game. Tigers at the Angels. Nobody's going to be playing either one of these teams. See any leverage angles in the Tigers or the Angels?
Not really. This slate for me has 5 main pitchers. Sale. We'll get to Bryce Miller. We talked about Gavin Williams. And then the 2 pitchers in this game. Detmers, too cheap for his stuff. He hasn't been great recently, so I don't feel like a ton of confidence in it, but he's way too cheap at $7,300 for this matchup. So it's Detmers for me. If you were going to play the leverage angle, it would be the Tigers against Detmers, but it's just tough to go there on this slate. Like, are the Tigers really going to beat out all those other teams as the top stack on the slate? Unlikely, even if you don't use Detmers. Melton, man, look at his game log. And he gets the nut matchup. The Angels against a right-handed pitcher. I mean, I'm not buying what he's selling completely, but it's hard not to at least have some interest here in this matchup, given his current form. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. 3 straight games of 22-plus points, DraftKings points. Now he gets the nut matchup. Yeah, he's looking pretty good.
Like, the only thing I'll say about it is he's got a 1.82 ERA. He's got a 2.96 expected ERA. So still good. I mean, 2.96 expected is really good, but it's not elite. He's only striking out 22, a little bit under % of hitters. So, like, I struggle to get here in one lineup over like Sale or Bryce Miller, but he's cheaper and in a better matchup. So he's in play for me.
Yeah. Next game up on the slate, your boy Michael McGreevy taking on Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly, who gets beat up time and time again, and then he comes out and puts up a 25-piece like he did his last start, I believe. But J.J. Weatherholt, Alec Burleson, home run legend Jordan Walker, Lars Nootbaar going into the desert. We know it's going to be scalding hot there as well. They do play indoors, which helps against the heat. But any love for any of these Cardinals, any love for these Diamondbacks who just simply – there's just no way they're going to get ownership. Neither one of these teams are going to get any ownership. So where are you going to either one of these folks?
I could play either of these teams. Okay. This might be the first three-pronger, the first and only three-pronger on this slate. So Merrill Kelly has been atrocious this year. So the Cardinals have to be in play against him. You know, we don't mind this ballpark for hitting, obviously. Cardinals are affordable. That said, Kelly has been really good his past 2 starts. I'm still a believer in his talent in general, and he's super cheap and low owned. So I could see playing Kelly here, just like I could see playing Hughes, but obviously I could see stacking against him. No interest in McGreevy. And I got some interest in Arizona. I always do. And they've let me down so much this year. I see that pick Cleveland PPD. We'll get there. But man, McGreevy's just not good. And even though stacking against him hasn't worked out a ton, I'm still ultimately a believer in, you know, stacking against bad pitchers. So Arizona's got to be in play for me. They're not my favorite stack on the board, but at their ownership, which I think will be like crazy low, they got to be in play.
Yeah. I think the first one I asked you was Guardians top 5. It was, but I know they're off the board now. Like Diamondback. Yeah. Top Diamondbacks, Cardinals, top 10, both of them.
Yes.
Do any of them creep into the top 5?
And it's tough though, man, because like, no, it's tough. Like, they can't make the top 5 because you asked me about those 3 games that are game stacking. That's 6 teams right there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Atlanta, and then you got the Nationals A's game. So no, neither the Cards or Diamondbacks are top 5, but I think they're both top 10-ish.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, you got the Nats and Oakland and Sacramento, which doesn't make sense. So I guess it's not Oakland, but and those other 3 games. I mean, there's just a ton of offenses. Like, I think it's going to be spread out.
It's about as loaded of an offensive slate as I can remember.
Yeah. Which takes us into our next game. Cade Cavalli, the ageless wonder, the Red Sox killer, taking on Gage Jump, $7,700, the Southpaw at home. This Cracker Jack, AAA ballpark. Talk to me about this one. You got the one thing I'd say about the Athletics is Nick Kurtz is on the shelf. Obviously hurts their lineup, but talk to me about this game. Natitudes at the Athletics.
So the A's did call up one of their better hitting prospects that should be in the lineup tonight, Nick White. So he's cheap and in there. That said, man, you kind of put me on this last Sunday or last Friday, I should say, and I was still stubborn about it. I stacked some Oakland all weekend or last weekend. They were talk about their offense right now. I mean, I don't think I can do it tonight. Even in this ballpark at low ownership, Cavalli is hit or miss. 2 bad starts after that dominant Boston start. So he's not a guy I'm afraid to pick on, but man, you look at this Athletics lineup right now. Tough for me to want to full stack them. The only thing I'll say is, like, now they're back home. And the All-Star break has a way of changing things. You know what I mean? Teams oftentimes play different than they did going into the break. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Athletics have a good series here. That said, really hard for me to want to ultimately like prioritize them. And I feel similarly about the Nats. Jump is a good arm. I mean, he's one of the better pitching prospects in baseball. He's been good in the majors. And even though the Nationals are good against lefties, they're so much better against righties. Ton of pinch hit risk here. Like, you tell me you want to play a Curtis Mead or a Dylan Cruz. Yeah, I mean, the Nats guys are in play, but I don't think I want to go out of my way to stack against Gage Jump on a slate with Brady Singer and Coors, Colin Ray and Bailey Ober with wind blowing out in Wrigley, Cal Quantrill. Like, I'm good on picking on Gage Jump, I think.
Yeah, just quickly game log watching, like Gage Jump has just gotten shelled at home. Outside of one start against the Angels, he's just gotten, I shouldn't say shelled, but he's had some all of his rough starts have been at home. Now you get these Nats, but I liked what you said. It stuck out to me is that you said these Nats aren't as good against lefties as they are righties, which would make sense with CJ and James Wood. You know, both getting that lefty. They get the bad end of that stick. So,
I mean, you are right, though. Like, you just take a simple glance at his splits. He's averaging 23 plus DraftKings points at home or on the road, 9 at home.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, and it makes sense. This ballpark is really conducive for hitting. So, like, yeah, I don't think the Nats are out of play. I think they're a good stack. I just think they're owned probably as they should be. And there's other teams that I like that the field doesn't like as much. So I probably won't go hard on the Nats, but I definitely won't be surprised if they ruin the slate. You know what I mean?
Can you play or not can you? I know you can, but do you like the Nats over any one of those other 6 teams we talked about earlier?
Do I like the Nats? I personally do not, but I also, man, I think the Nats are probably lower owned than all of them. They're expensive. Yeah, for sure. And like the real thing is Wood and Abrams are lefties and uber expensive. They're the 2 best hitters in the Nats lineup, the guys you want to play. So, like, I don't know, man. Then just the numbers you read off about Gage Jump at home. Yeah, I think the Nationals are right on that level, especially when you consider ownership. You know, I would say this too. I think the Coors and Wrigley game is on another level than the KC game. I would put this game on the level of the KC game.
Got it. So maybe a tier behind and hope those first 2 don't go off. What's the wind at Wrigley blowing out? Like how bad is it blowing out? Like 20 miles an hour, 10? Do you know? If not, somebody in the chat might know.
It is blowing out at
Mari Don says,
I think 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what he says as well. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I know it's the Windy City, right? And I don't know if that's like a lot or a little, or how much that's.
It's a ton. 43, a plus 43% uptick in home runs in this weather.
All right, yeah, good to know. Yeah. All right, thanks for sharing that. All right, 1 game left. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and once you do that, we're going to give a free ticket away to the 121 to a Ship It Nation member because our boy Jot Jams went yard on a Friday night. So make sure you stick around. Matt, we got 1 game left. We got the Giants taking on Bryce, Drive Killer Miller in this ballpark. We love against this team. We love picking on Landon Roop, Bryce Miller. Talk to me, Giants at the Mariners.
Outside of his last start, Bryce Miller had been dominant. So I'm willing to go back to him now at home against the Giants offense that I'm still underwhelmed with. Going through this show, I do think I like Sale the most. And, the 4 guys, Sale, Miller, Melton, and Detmers, all of them are really good options for me. And I kind of went into this show thinking I liked Miller and Sale definitely the most, but I think you can do a lot with the price tag of certainly Detmers and even Melton. So I think all 4 of those guys look good, but I still like Miller a lot here. I'm a believer in his stuff. I like the matchup. I love the ballpark. I mean, you got so many good hitting spots tonight. Feels pretty good to use a pitcher in Seattle. I mean, It just does. And then Landon Raup, I'm probably good on him. Like, I don't think he's a bad play in this park just because of this park, and I think he's talented enough, and I'm not scared of Seattle, but he's 8K, and I just don't like him enough to use him. But I'm completely out on offense in this game.
Yeah, so you said you're in or out on Landon Raup at 8K. That's expensive to me, but maybe
I'm probably out. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, you look up and down like this. It's not a great pitching slate, in my opinion. It sounds like in your opinion as well, but and that's why we like so many offenses. 3 or 4 plus parks with, I'd say, we got all the good parks on the slate tonight except Cincinnati, and we got Cincinnati in Coors. So go figure there. All right, Matt, it's the end of the show. We'll let's do our home run call of the day first. I'm gonna let you do the honors. I got one, but give me your home run call of the day.
I'm gonna steal a guy that you mentioned. It kind of hit me when you said him. Give me Jack Caglione here, going yard tonight.
Jack Caglione, I love that. I'm going to go to this Windy City game. I'm going to go to the guy batting second, righty, Ryan Jeffers, $5,400 catcher position. Should be virtually unowned, sub 10%. I love Ryan Jeffers tonight. Run to the quickest window, get that bet in, and enjoy all your money. All right, Matt, let's go. Let's go top 3 stacks. And maybe one outside of the maybe your sleeper stack, and it can't be the Braves.
It won't be the Braves because the Braves are going to be in my top 3. So we're going to say Twins, Reds, Braves, sleeper stack, Royals.
Ooh, sleeper stack, Royals. All right, we're going to give away a free ticket to a Shipment Nation member. So you got to be quick. The first one we see, the first one Matt and I see. Do we want to give them both, Matt, or just do we want to do the oldest?
Either way. I mean, I think it's cool when you see both years. So
okay. All right. So I know this is a baseball show, but my boy Matt, born and bred, Cleveland born and bred. We're going to talk about the King for a little bit. So the answer or the question is, put the answers in the chat. You got to get both. The oldest, who is the oldest and who is the youngest player the King, LeBron James, has played against? Ready, set, go. How long do you think it's going to take?
What year were they born in?
Ooh, and what year were they born in? That's tough. Let's just get the players.
Okay, just the players. Just the players.
Just the players. You got to name the oldest he's played against and the youngest.
Yep.
We don't have anybody yet. How long is it
going to take? The youngest should be significantly easier.
People are Googling that as fast as they can. You got to be a Shipment Nation member. So keep that in mind as well. Jordan and Bronny is not it, but good guess, Ricky. No, they were opponents. Gary Payton oldest, no. Oh, Ricky rolled is my stop the presses. So someone has Ricky a quick rolled. Google. Rick rolled. Yep. Rick rolled, got it. He's good at Google. Rick, I hope you're a Shipment Nation member. If you are, hit me up in the Discord, and you got a free 121 ticket. Got to be a monthly member too. Can't be a 5-day freebie thing for $19. Got to be a member over at the Nation. Matt, appreciate doing a show with you each and every Friday. Appreciate all 250 of you tuning in. Rick rolled is indeed a member. Hit me up in the Discord. We'll get you that 121 ticket ASAP. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get on up out of here?
No, good luck tonight. Wild slate. Always a pleasure doing these shows with you. Can't wait till next Friday.
Yeah, can't wait till next Friday. For my guy, Matt, I'm Ham. Be safe out there. I'm going to avoid these storms. Good luck tonight in those contests. We'll see you at the top of the leaderboards. Just ship it.